episode of BS Busters. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mr. Red Fox, and I'm joined by my co-host. Go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself.
This is Kanoshi about Benito. Glad to be on another one of these BS Busters.
Glad to have. So we're talking. Um, I guess we're getting the dregs of that Nintendo Direct. I guess that's what we're covering. So I guess we're going to talk about. Well, I guess the other bit of the big thing that came out of that direct, which was they finally gave us a date for Metroid Prime 4. Did they say 2025?
Yeah, 2025.
2025, yeah. 2025. And they showed a little bit of gameplay. Basically, it was kind of like, okay, look, Retro's working on this shit again, and it has all the shit that you like about Metroid Prime. First person view, scanning, the morph ball. You can blow shit up. You can, it's got your little power, your little bombs. Everything that you like is in here. Now leave me the hell alone. That's basically what they were saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm a Metroid fan. I do like the franchise. But that being said, I will say there's some concerning things that I've also discovered about this as well. And some people are going to get mad when they hear this. I don't really care if they get angry. Um, but before we go any further, do you have any further thoughts about the Prime reveal?
Direct? Oh, the Metroid Prime review?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't mind the Metroid Prime games, but I prefer the 2D games over the
All
first
right.
person shooters. No.
Well, I am a Prime fanboy. I love the franchise. Started playing. I remember, like, I used to be like you. I was like, oh man, I fucking hate 3D Metroid. Why does everything have to go 3D? And I stayed away from it. Like, I remember they had the demo unit for Metroid Prime for the GameCube. Back in the day, like you would go to a Kmart, or specifically a Kmart, and they'd have the little demo unit for the game. And I remember playing. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Uh, and I stayed away from it for like 2 games, Echoes, the original Prime, and I didn't get into Metroid Prime until I played Corruption. And I played that for the Wii. This was when the Wii was like at that point of its life cycle where Nintendo was just sitting on their ass, just collecting those licensing fees from third-party games. And occasionally they would drop a second-party or first-party game. And they released Metroid Prime Corruption. And I remember playing it, and I was like, this game is fucking amazing. I was sleeping on this the whole time. Like, that's basically what I was saying to myself. And I realized that, man, I let my ignorance get in the way of me playing some good shit.
I mean, I think the games are good. I think it's good that they finally, finally got some kind of release window time. This game's coming out, but um, oh, I tend to gravitate towards the 2D ones a little bit more. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with this one. But you show some concern
Oh yeah,
about it.
yeah. My concern is that it's gonna be a multi-plat across both platforms. Uh, Nintendo's the Switch and their next home console, and I'm worried about that because, frankly speaking, Nintendo has a hardware issue their with the Switch, because they're first party games that don't run well on the Switch. That's my
Yeah,
issue. Like, there's first party games that run like ass on the Switch, and I'm like, if first party games aren't running well on this shit, And like with the Metroid franchise, every next game in the series always got um like they expanded the scope of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Metroid Prime, like the first Metroid Prime, you're on Talon 4, okay? Metroid Prime 2, you're on planet Ether, where you're in like Dark Ether and Light Ether. So technically, you had two planets to explore. Then Metroid Prime 3, you're dealing with uh like 4 or 5 planets and a space station. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh wow, you're upping the scope every time. Now, look, I understand, to be fair, that a lot of this was you're using the same fucking. It's like just a lot of palette swaps. You know what I mean? It's like this is a new
Yeah.
enemy. No, that's a palette swap of another enemy on another planet. That's really like who are you bullshitting? You know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but every game raised the bar about what you were getting and what you were seeing, and now we have this game, which um, is not doing that. Like I don't know if this game is going to raise the bar to a higher level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it does, I don't know if it's going to be able to withstand that higher level. You know what I mean? Because let's keep it 100%. If the Switch can't handle if the Switch can't handle some of the first party games that have been coming out, it damn sure can't handle you know what this game is going to have to do in order to make it something worth playing. But I could be wrong. I'm just some guy. You have any thoughts? Agree, disagree, don't care?
Um, yeah, I think it's gonna be a multi-generation game. I know some people are like, Nintendo's never started out a generation with Metroid, but it's a new time, a new era.
I mean,
We
yeah,
see all
but
sorts.
they started the Wii with a multi-generation Legend of Zelda game with Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think before then,
It was on the
no console had a
GameCube and
Zelda
the
game at
Wii.
launch.
It was a launch
Yeah,
title for the Wii.
yeah, yeah, it was.
So
And
I mean,
before the and before their other consoles, they never started out with the Zelda game. So I mean, it's nothing stopping them. Look, I mean, Kirby, which isn't necessarily their highest selling game, so their games are selling a lot. So it's just kind of like Nintendo's in a new place right now with their game sales.
they basically have to have shit to play.
Yeah,
you know. And while Metroid isn't their biggest franchise, it is a franchise that has a lot of brand recognition. Even when it's fucking up, it has a lot of brand recognition. So you know, I just like I
yeah,
said, I just don't want it to be fuck. I don't want this game to be handicapped by the hardware. You know, which is what I strongly suspect is what's going to happen. It's going to be handicapped by the hardware, which basically means that it's going to be fundamentally fucking up. And I know some people are going to get mad when they hear that. They're going to be like, "How could you say that?" Come on, man. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here, okay? Let's keep it 100%. Okay? A lot of Nintendo first party games have not been running well.
yeah,
All right? You don't believe me? Go play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or 3. That game doesn't run that well on the Switch. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you go into an area. It's like, oh shit, it's struggling to load this area. This is a first party game, and it's struggling to run a first party game. So I don't want to hear that shit. All right, y'all know. To quote Darth Vader, "Search your feelings. You know it to be true." Okay, y'all know good and hell well. Y'all know good and hell well that you know, and look, listen, for years we would praise Nintendo for having consoles that, oh well, they don't put a lot of money in hardware. It's all about the game design. But we're at a point now where good game design can only take you so far.
You know.
Like, cause I don't care how well designed something is. If I'm playing a game and I can't even fucking the game is fundamentally struggling to load an area. Like, am I just supposed to sit there and take that?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's basically what you're telling us to do as gamers. Oh, well, just accept this. This game is fundamentally broken. Just accept it. Don't like. How long do we have to sit here and accept mediocrity? Is my point.
Yeah.
But will people agree with that? I don't know. I could be wrong. Who am I? I'm just some guy. All right. But any other thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
No. But I mean, I do agree with the whole hardware issue. There has to be, you have to have at least, some amount of wiggle room when it comes to, just not necessarily being with the times, but designing your hardware in such a way where your games run well. It's like, I mean, I'm not asking you to come out with the latest and greatest tech with your game consoles, but at least they made money hand over fist with the Switch, so there shouldn't be any excuse why the next console isn't going to run the games as
I mean,
well.
look, man. I'm not saying
Above
I
reproach.
want it to be like, oh my god, this system, everything runs perfectly. I just look. Can I just get 60 frames per second? I just want 1080p 60 frames per second. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah.
People are acting like. I mean, I don't think 60 frames per second. I don't even want 1080p. If I can get 720p, I'd be all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people get mad when you say that. Like, oh, but you're a resolution whore. No, I'm a frame rate whore.
Yeah.
There's a difference, sir. A resolution whore wants high resolution. I could give a fuck less about resolution, to be honest with you. I really don't care. I just want my games to run um, at a decent clip. And I don't think that's too much to ask. Like, people, people ask like if you're asking for a certain frame rate that you're asking too much. And that's all these consoles. That's not Nintendo. That's like the PlayStation 5, the Xbox. It's like, oh man, I just want a system that runs at a certain thing. Oh no, you can't do that. You're asking too much. I don't like it. No, sir, not one bit. But enough about that. Let's. Anything else you want to add before we move on to the next topic, sir?
No.
All right. Apparently there are people who are angry about Echoes of Wisdom Swordless Zelda is not about what's canon, it's about good gameplay. And apparently there are people who are angry about that. I'm like, look, man, calm the fuck down. calm, calm the fuck down. I mean, look, man, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but here's the thing, okay? Um, there's no reason to get angry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. There people. Yeah, I saw a video about people crying at the fact that you were playing as Zelda in this game. It's like people have been wanting a Zelda game where you play as Zelda for a while.
Not really. No,
No,
but I get what you're
I mean
saying,
so.
but not really.
I
No one.
mean there's definitely been a crowd. I've definitely heard of like it's not something that's like
They're not having a riot for it, but there is a subset of Zelda fans, not even Zelda fans, people who want to get into Zelda, and they're thinking that, well, if the playable character was actually Princess Zelda, that would make me get into Zelda. I'm like, if what's holding you back from getting into Zelda is you have to play as Princess Zelda, I don't think you're gonna like this game either. Is what I'm saying.
well, I mean, well, I guess it's just talking about the whole people are afraid of Nintendo going woke
I mean,
because it's kind of like the idea of wanting to play Zelda isn't it's not a new thing. It's not a
no,
new people have talked like people have talked about the idea of what if there was a Zelda game where you play as Legend of Zelda. So,
Yeah, there were
yeah.
Legend of Zelda games. There were, I'm telling you, there were two of them. I mean, they were the
And
shitty Zelda
they were
CDI ones,
terrible.
but they were terrible. That's
Yeah, they were awful.
look,
Nobody talks
look.
about those.
Me as a Legend of Zelda fan, I'm not worried about this game. I'm like, oh shit, we're playing as Princess Zelda. Oh man, the last two times we did this, these games were fucking trash. And I don't care who's involved with it. I'm like, okay, I'm a little worried. This ain't got shit to do with this has nothing to do with how I feel about Zelda as a character because I don't care. I mean,
Yeah, I don't really.
I don't like this. Like my disappointment with this game wasn't.
Playing a Zelda?
No, no, it
Or
wasn't playing as Zelda. My disappointment with the game was I'm watching. I'm like, oh man, this is like a classic Legend of Zelda game, and then they're like, oh no, it's
something else entirely.
it's
Yeah.
like oh man, you're fighting Ganon. Oh, this is awesome. It's like oh no, never mind. It's some puzzle bullshit. Oh, never mind. I gave. I'm like never mind. I'm good. I just I was like yeah, I'm good. I'm
I'm
good.
not,
I,
I'm not a
it's
huge I'm not a huge fan of puzzle games, but I might give this a shot. I don't know.
yeah. I
I'll see
mean
how I feel when we get closer to release.
yeah. The last time I played a puzzle game that I really was like, oh man, this is amazing. Was I played Zack and Wiki for the Wii. But that game was like astonishingly good. It was much better than it had any business being. It's like on paper this should be terrible, but this is actually pretty good. But that's the exception to the rule. For me, I play Legend of Zelda games for the sense of adventure and the for the sense of adventure and the and the creative use of, hey man, you get to use how you use whatever dungeon item you find against the bosses and traversing the world and the exploration. I really never played a Legend of Zelda game to be like, just the puzzles.
Yeah.
But I know there are people, this is more of that Breath of the Wild shit, digging in everything. Um, so yeah, but look, listen, if that makes these people happy, I'm glad they're happy. I'm happy that they're happy. The people who are sitting there trying to say, "Oh man, Nintendo's gone woke," you do realize that like 55-60% of the people who own Switches are women, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So they should just ignore an entire crowd of people who buy video games because your precious masculine male ego might get damaged. And these are the same dudes who wonder why they can't get girlfriends. So why can't I get a girlfriend? Maybe because you're an asshole. You ever think about that one? Yeah. You have a sense of entitlement. You ever think about that one? Yeah. Why is she going with me, bro? Eh, maybe because you're a dick. But whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of like at this point, I'm done arguing with people about this. You know what I mean? Not that I was really arguing with people. I'm just saying I'm tired of people complaining about it. Everything that people don't like that includes people who traditionally have not been included in video games is considered woke. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, we're gonna have a person of color as a protagonist. Hey man, why are you being woke? It's like this is really isn't people being woke. It's just we're just kind of like we're giving people a chance who haven't had a chance to really do anything, play a video game. You know what I mean? Because I've said this before, but for years, like I would play video games and the main character would be some random white guy, and I'm like, but I'm not white. Why do I have to play as a white guy?
Yeah.
And now we're getting games where other people can be protagonists, and people are getting mad about the shit, which is, I mean, it's bordering on absurd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, man, you better not play a video game. It's like, what are we gonna do next, right? Notice no one else does that. You know, the same people who are complaining about this shit are the same people who complain about, like June is Gay Pride Month, is Pride Month, who say, well, what about Straight Pride Month? It's like, well, the other 11 months of the year. These are the same people who 30 years ago were complaining about Black History Month. Anyway, my point is, I'm not a fan of this game. I'm probably not getting it, but I don't think the game should be canceled or people should be overturning, you know, flipping over cars over the shit. You know what I mean? But that's just me. You know what I mean? Anyway, any other thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
No.
All right. Next topic is about everything from the June 2024 Nintendo Direct that is also coming to PC. So, for those of you who might not have a Switch or don't like playing games on the Switch, we got you covered. A lot of games coming to PC, y'all, that was announced on that Direct, and they didn't even talk about it. So, first one, Fantasian Neo Dimension. This is the game created by Hironobu Sakaguchi. Um, the music was composed by Nobuo Uematsu. Now, for those of you young folks who don't know who the fuck those people are, Hironobu Sakaguchi is the guy who basically created Final Fantasy before it turned into the shit show it is today. And Nobuo Uematsu is the guy who did the music for all those games when it was still amazing. So it's coming to Steam on top of coming to the Switch. So I heard the base version of this game on the Apple Arcade was really hard, and they had to actually add a normal difficulty to make it less difficult. So Steam will be the place to play this so that you can cheat and have a lot of money. Memories in Orbit. Um, Looked kind of cool. I got some Hollow Knight vibes from it. I don't know if it is like Hollow Knight. I'm just saying I got some Hollow Knight vibes from it. That's also coming to PC. Steam 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Now, I mean, look, man, I'm not really into Hello Kitty. I had a friend in college who was into Hello Kitty. She had a lot of Hello Kitty branded stuff. Um, some of which would not be appropriate for this podcast. So yeah, man, the ladies like Hello Kitty. So there you go. Now,
She had one of those devices. Huh.
all I'm gonna say is that Hello Kitty is like the fourth most popular brand in the world. Number one is Pokemon. Number two is like Animal Crossing. Number three is Mario, and number four is Hello Kitty. That should explain to you how big Hello Kitty is. And this is a port of an Apple Arcade game, so it's basically Animal Crossing late. Dragon Quest is getting Square's HD 2D treatment, and it's coming out November 14th. I will be getting it on PC, so I can cheat, because the early Dragon Quest games, like the first four games, are hard as shit. Now, I know this game's not going to be as hard as those games, but those games are not easy. And so cheating might be in my future playing those games. I'm just telling you right now. I will download a trainer and cheat, because why not? I know some people are like, "Oh, you cheat in video games?" Hell yeah. Fuck.
Please wait.
You think
Trainer
I'm gonna
activated.
You think I'm gonna play a game and just You think I'm gonna play a game and not make it not be You think I'm gonna play a game and make it as hard as hell? Hell no, son. I play games for ease.
I play games to relax, man.
You know, I mean, there are some games I'll play, the hard mode. Like I'll play a Castlevania game without cheating. Um, but a lot of other games, yeah, I'll cheat my ass off. What you think this is? This ain't gentleman rules. I play games for fun. So that's just how I roll, son. But to each his own. To each his own. So let's keep it moving with the other games that are also coming to PC. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. So here's what you're getting: X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Superheroes, and The Punisher, which is not a fighting game, but you know. And you're getting bonus features like improved training modes, concept art galleries, and crucially, a music player. So you can basically, listen to that terrible music. I love the Marvel vs. Capcom games, but the music they have for some of the superhero levels are trash. Like, Hulk's theme is trash. I'm like, why do you have jazz playing for the Hulk's level theme? Like, the Hulk doesn't seem like he'd be listening to jazz. Maybe Joe Fix-It, but not the Hulk.
Mm. You didn't like the jazz. You didn't like the jazz thing they were going for, huh?
I mean, even back in the, it's like okay, let me put it this way: if I was planning a Marvel versus Capcom for Spider-Man's theme, I would basically stick with the classic, Spider-Man, but like a remix of it. Jazz would work for that, because if you've ever, there's like a jazz version of Spider-Man's theme from the 70s when they were trying to do a live action Spider-Man thing. And actually it's kind of cool. It's there's like the end of it's like, it has nothing to do with the Spider-Man thing, but the end of it, this guy on the saxophone just goes off and it sounds cool. So I could deal with that, but the Hulk, like, I don't think hearing the Hulk, like with the Hulk, you need to have like for the Hulk's theme, you need a lot of bass and kind of orchestrated that has an undertone of menace. Because the Hulk is like that. It's like, oh shit. The Hulk comes down, it's like, well, we fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never should you be like, oh, well, no, it's the Hulk. It's like, nah, man, it's the Hulk. Oh shit. We done fucked up now. But, that's just my own personal opinion. I could be wrong. But next game, Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. That's coming out September 6th. Yay. We're getting Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, coming out October 24th. So the last the last time that was outside of Japan was a lot of hit and miss mobile ports. So, now we're getting a 3D from the ground up remake of the game. And apparently it has the generation system where your character grows old, dies, and then your kids inherit some of your skills and abilities for the next generation.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Fire Emblem? Oh.
No, I mean, this is before Fire Emblem. Romancing Saga 2 came out in like the early 90s, like 92, 93. Maybe 94. Yeah. So yeah, this is before Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem had like leveling up and all that type of shit, but it didn't have this. And the other games that are coming to PC is Danganronpa, the 100 Line Last Defense Academy. That's coming in 2025. Fairy Tail 2, that's coming to PC. Pharmagia, that's coming out November 1st, so the day after Halloween. Funko Fusion, I don't know. That looked kind of interesting. I might get that. It looks like a take on Lego, those Lego games, except with Funko Pops and not Legos. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, looks interesting, but it's coming to PC. And finally, a new Phantom Brave game. So, it looks like Square Enix learned their lesson about sequestering games on one platform, because these games are too fucking expensive to make, so they got to put them on multiple things. So with that being said, we've got we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 plus 7, that's 11. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We got 21 games coming to PC that you do not have to have a Switch for, that were announced for the Switch. So yeah, man, if y'all got a gaming PC or a Steam Deck, y'all gonna be all right. Tales of the Shire is also coming to PC, but no one cares. I don't think someone with a PC is gonna be playing that game on PC. Do you?
Nah.
It's like, yeah, I let my kids play on my expensive, multi-grand PC. Cause my kids need to play. It's like, but on your PC though? No, not on the PC, man. Fuck. But I love my kids, but not enough to share my expensive, ultra expensive PC with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess those are all the topics. Anything you want to pimp out? Bring up? We're at the free topic, unpopular opinion section of the cast.
No, I haven't really seen anything that stuck out. Things are about to get really dry here in the next month because everybody just announced everything that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
And, early next year, so not really going to see anything for a while. So I guess
So
this
they
is the
say.
perfect time to spend time on your backlog.
Yeah, or do what I'm gonna do and buy new shit. I'm getting Bait and Katos 1 and 2 on PC. Cause I'm gonna play it on PC. Cause I roll like that, son. I love me some Bait and Katos. So, anyway, yeah, now's the time. So, I guess I have a unpopular opinion. I kind of voiced it a little bit earlier. Here's my unpopular opinion. Nintendo needs to up their game on their hardware for their next console. All right, that's it. Okay, we can't have this shit. Can't be running like a lot of first party games 30 frames per second. All right, that's not cool. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And that's not just the Nintendo thing. That's all these console manufacturers. Okay, you should not. You shouldn't. If you can't reach. If you on your consoles, if you're not reaching, if you can't get solid 60 frames per second, I would rather give up a higher resolution for a more stable frame rate.
Yeah.
Cause I'm tired of playing. Like there is no excuse for people to have a PS5 or an Xbox One, and your shit can't reach, and you can't reach 60 frames per second. That's unacceptable. And I know some people are gonna get mad when they hear that. They're like, well, they're trying their hardest. Try harder. It's unacceptable that these consoles can't reach 60 frames per second. That's not cool. Matter of fact, that goes beyond not being cool and just being embarrassing. All right? Not especially when you factor in we had 60 frames per second games. The original Paper Mario game, Thousand Year Door, was 60 frames per second on the GameCube.
Yeah.
The new one is 30 frames.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Think about that. a system from at this point 3 gens ago was was more capable of reaching a higher frame rate than the shit we have now. That's just fucking embarrassing. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people making excuses. Well, blah blah blah. The power. Look, listen. I don't know about you, but I don't really play my Switch in handheld mode. I play my Switch in docked mode. So the power is a moot fucking point. Okay? For me. But whatever. Anyway, anything else you want to add before we wrap things up?
No, that's it.
All right. That's the end of the cast. Thank you for joining us. We had wasn't too long. It was about 45 minutes. Anything you want to pimp out before we wrap things up, sir?
Yeah, I've still doing music stuff. Find me on YouTube. I post stuff on YouTube, and also, I still do the podcast. Not as much as used to. Partially because I rather focus on other stuff. Plus, I kind of lost the drive to do it. So, any case, yeah. So I'm focusing on music stuff. Do the podcast about every other week, and have a good week.
All right. This was Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. I will be having a cast next week, because there's always something to talk about in this community of bullshit. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely come up with something. Remember, play your games, blah blah blah, etc. etc. And don't forget, the week after next is the 4th of July. So, celebrate this Independence Day by watching a good Roland Emmerich movie.
Yeah.
Independence Day. So, with that being said, peace, good night, and play your game.